Iran rejects Trump's peace push and answers with another barrage of bombs on Israel. Iran's anger still burns as northern and central Israel feel the heat of the latest attacks. Beersheba's plant is hit again, while cluster bombs devastate Israel's biggest city. Scenes of destruction spread across Israel, with ruined buildings and broken roads everywhere. Trump says the war is nearly complete, but Iran still appears to be setting the terms of battle.
Tonight, I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion. As we celebrate this progress, we think especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives in this fight to prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran.
Iran and its allied forces say they carried out Wave 93 of strikes against US-Israeli targets, signaling yet another escalation in the ongoing conflict. The latest attacks under Operation True Promise 4 reportedly hit locations in northern and central Israel on April 3, according to Iranian claims. The IRGC said the strike was aimed at Israeli gathering points and combat support centers, describing them as key military-linked targets. The IRGC also claimed that sites in Western Galilee, Haifa, Kafr Kanna, and Krayot were struck with precision in the latest wave. The operation, according to the IRGC, was carried out jointly with the Islamic resistance using missiles and suicide drones in a coordinated assault. The IRGC added that the launches would continue continuously, uninterruptedly, and shot after shot, underscoring its message of sustained retaliation. A 45-year-old man was injured by shattered glass in Bnei Brak after a missile strike, as the impact sent debris flying through the area. Hebrew media and rescue reports said the missile carried a cluster bomb warhead, adding to concerns about the scale of the attack. In southern Israel, an Iranian missile impact triggered a fire at the Neot Hovav industrial zone near Beersheba, causing fresh alarm. Firefighters said they were working to put out the blaze while also searching the surrounding area for any further damage or hidden risks. Officials reported no additional injuries, and said no hazardous materials were found at the scene during the initial assessment. This came as US forces intensified search efforts for a missing F-15E crew member after the fighter jet went down in the midst of the operation. One crew member was rescued from the crash site after the two-seater fighter came down, while a US official said the second service member's condition and whereabouts were still unknown. According to AP, the incident quickly turned into a larger emergency as rescue teams moved in under dangerous conditions and tried to secure the area. A US official said Iranian forces shot down the F-15E Strike Eagle, marking a serious escalation in the wider confrontation. During the same search mission, a US A-10 Thunderbolt was also struck by Iranian fire, adding to the intensity of the operation. 2 US Black Hawk helicopters were hit as well, but the service members aboard those aircraft were reported to be unharmed. The attacks came as regional efforts to broker a ceasefire between the US and Iran reportedly collapsed, deepening the uncertainty around diplomacy. Pakistan-led mediation is said to have stalled after Iran rejected meeting US officials in Islamabad, according to reports. The Wall Street Journal said Turkey and Egypt were now searching for alternative locations to restart talks and keep negotiations alive. Meanwhile, Iran says it has rejected Trump's offer of a 48-hour ceasefire, according to Fars news agency. Fars also reported that the US had proposed a ceasefire through a third country, but the details remained far from clear. It was still unclear whether Israel would be included in any such agreement, leaving major questions unanswered. Donald Trump said Iran was seeking a ceasefire, but Tehran denied that claim and pushed back publicly. On April 1st, President Trump had said the US operation against Iran would be completed in 2 to 3 weeks.
We totally obliterated those nuclear sites. The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles and would soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland, Europe, and virtually any other place on Earth. Iran's strategy was so obvious. They wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, and they did, with the longest range possible, and they had some weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out. We took them out. We took them all out so that no one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. They were right at the doorstep. For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, but in the end, those are just words if you're not willing to take action when the time comes. As I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear. We are systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders. That means eliminating Iran's Navy, which is now absolutely destroyed, hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen before, and annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been extraordinary. There's never been anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it, and tonight I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion. As we celebrate this progress, we think especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives in this fight to prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran. Twice this past month, I've traveled to Dover Air Force Base, and it's been something. I wanted to be with those heroes as they return to American soil, and I was with them and their families, their parents, their wives, their husbands. We salute them, and now we must honor them by completing the mission for which they gave their lives. And every single one of the people, their loved ones said, "Please, sir, please finish the job," every one of them. And we are going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. We're getting very close. I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great, and we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form. Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. This short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine. The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that. We built the strongest economy in history.